guys, no, it's me Gertrude, and it's so nice to see you again. I know it's been a while, it has been a while, but I'll tell you what, nothing's changed. I've still got my pot plants. Hang on, let me try and get that, try and bring that down here so you can see. Can you see that there? That's a bit of my pot plant there. I'm not going to get it all out because it'll be a right mess. Still got my pot plants and the like, and I know that last time I spoke to you, my mama just left and I said I'd been under the thumb then and I was too busy to talk to you, and that was true, but to be fair, this time, guys, I've just actually been really slack, actually. I've just had my sister Daphne and her new fella Sven. Sven's from the European part of the world. They've just come over, actually. They've been here for some cheeses and a wee little bit of wine. We love our wine, we love our liquor, actually, full stop. Daphne and I, our father taught us well. But no, I love having Daphne over. She's just like another poo in my pod, you know. There's me in my pod, there's Shano in my pod, there's Gary in my pod, and there's Daphne in my pod. And I'm not going to lie to you, there is room for Sven in my pod, should it work out with him and Daphne. But anyway, no, they've been over and we've been having some discussions, and it's just, you know, I just love it. I absolutely LIVE it when she comes over and we just have these chats, you know, because definitely, you know, we've got the same bits. We're both females. We know what it means to be alive in this day and age, and we know what the problems that we've all got vis-a-vis getting hoot and holler at. You know, we want to sing TLC's No Scrubs to all these men these days. Don't they know we've got partners? God save the Queen. But anyway, no, it's nice having Daphne here and, you know, discussing stuff. And actually tonight's topic of conversation was spirituality, you know. And I mean, I am a person of faith, guys. I'm not going to lie to you on that front. I am a person of faith, but that does not mean that I have a remedy vis-a-vis what to do in a crisis. And I do think, though, that faith, I mean, it does teach you something that atheism can't, you know. It teaches you, you know, in despair and crisis and desperation and moments of absolute annihilation, I think faith can really give you something that just having a lack of belief can't. I think that thing would be hope, some would say. But, you know, around my room, I thought I'd talk about this tonight. It's just a sense of who I am, you know. And the first thing that sort of helps me in my spirituality is this here, this moonstone. So, you know, that's there. I'll hold that up to the camera so you can all see. And my moonstone, I just hold it in my palm of my hand when I'm feeling a bit stressed and a bit anxious. And I'll just hold my moonstone and I'll think, you know what, at the end of the day, this is of the earth. It's of nature, you know. Unless it's man-made. I've never really asked that question before, but I think it's of the earth, guys. I'm going to say it's of the earth, you know. I just hold it and I feel calm, and I think, you know what? Where am I right now? I'm here, holding my moonstone, and there's nothing to worry about, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and that's it. Vis-a-vis, life will go on. But the other thing I do have here actually is a lovely it's a lovely poem from a man called Soren Kierkegaard. Now, I think he was what you call a theologian, which is not the same as a philosopher, although I feel it is. I think a theologian is somebody who studies Jesus, perhaps, or maybe it's just religion in general. Anyway, it's a lovely little thing about God, our Heavenly Father, and just a little poem there regarding him and what that means, and waking in our hearts. And I just love that whole idea about our hearts waking up, you know, and about the peace that this brings me. So that's another thing I sometimes turn to, a little poem. Poetry sometimes shows us something of a spiritual nature, you know, doesn't it? I mean, words are very powerful indeed. And the last thing I'll have around my room, and it's just a happy coincidence I'll have one right here, excuse moi, uno momento, as they say in France, is a feather. Now there's that feather there. Sometimes when I'm feeling stressed, I just run it over my body like that, just like that, and it's calming. Now, a feather, I think, is a sign from the spiritual realm. That's this little gift for us, just a little, hey, you're doing well, kid, keep up the good work, you know, from the angels per se. Now this one evidently has come out of my feather down duvet, but that's not to be questioned. We don't need to trifle with things like that. I think it is a sign. So when you're out walking, you know, and you maybe come across a feather and you're nowhere near a beach, there's no seagulls in sight, I think that feather, you can take a look at that feather and say, hey, I'm doing all right. You know, that's what I take from it anyway. I think it's a very spiritual thing, a feather. And that's why I have that tattooed on my wrist, actually, a feather, just to remind me that, hey, you're doing all right. And as it were, actually, my brother and my mum have that tattooed on them too, but Daphne flat out refuses, actually. It's quite offensive, but one day I'll get her. Maybe after a little bit of liquor, you know what I mean? No, I wouldn't. That's totally illegal and it's totally irresponsible. I wouldn't do that, but I might. But I wouldn't, but I might. Anyway, yes, I think I better go and help Gary now. He's busy doing the cleaning because, you know, after a night like this, I say to him, Gary, look, I will put together the cheese board. I will chop up the beer sticks and all the little tiny chunks, just the perfect size for a morsel. But I won't be cleaning up, Gary. I don't do that. And he knows that now, so he's busy in there slaving away. He knows that I don't like the wine glasses left for staining. He knows that. So, you know, I better go and give him a hand now, guys. But wherever you are, wherever you might be, I hope that you might think about spirituality a little bit and about what you think of the world and how does it look through your lens, you know. Evidently mine are quite thick and they're a bit rainbowed from the UV light I got put on them, a bit fancy last time. Fancy lenses from the optometrist who said that it'd be better for me when I'm reading on my iPad. God, it just looks like I've got spilt oil on them, doesn't it? But anyway, I do hope that you think about spirituality, and, you know, if you do find yourself a wee feather, whoops, or a moonstone, or Soren Kierkegaard, you know, that you do take heart and you realise, actually, at the end of the day, when all's said and done, we don't really know what's going to happen, do we? Food for thought anyway. Alright, cheerio chaps, have a nice evening and I'll be